alert. eBay reseller news now. I don't think people are hearing I don't think the music's coming through for some reason. No, it is. Important news. Meh. Yeah, no, there's nothing really that great to say today. All right, thank you very much. It's 1 o'clock. Tip your waitresses. Hope you all had a great weekend. We are just coming back around from a very was our weekend tumultuous? Could you use any metric to describe our weekend as tumultuous, or was it really just boring and lame? Was there anything good? Oh yeah, you're not even here. By the way, I'm Primo Kimo. This is Spam Banshee, who does not talk during this show, and she works on eBay so that we don't lose the house. So we can buy diapers for the kids that we don't have. But we had a very, we were working on eBay all weekend. Imagine that. What were you guys doing? Working on eBay. If you're parents, you might have been doing something, hopefully you were doing something fun with your family. Most fathers I know always think everything they do with their family is annoying, but I don't, like going places and doing things that require going places and doing things. Why did it get cold in here all of a sudden? Oh, I turned off my heater. Aloha, everybody. Let's not talk about football. We're not talking about football. And you'll notice there's a Paul in the room. It's Paul Rose. Aloha. Mighty Casey struck out in Mudville. Was he in Mudville? In this case, Las Vegas. And the Mighty Casey being the 49ers. For those of us who are from the Bay Area or, enjoy sports enough at least to have an affiliation to a team, it was sad to see the Niners lose, especially when all the people were there to watch them. But then at the end, Taylor Swift was like deep French kissing her boyfriend on the field, and I was like, okay, well, I guess everything's cool. I can't feel too bad. So there's that. So welcome everybody. Just welcome here. This is the new advanced reseller chat we're advanced resellers, advanced in age, advanced in reselling, but definitely not, we're not the best. I'll tell you that right now. Major Win, however, disagrees. Aloha and mahalo, Major Win, for the super chat. A tumultuous weekend anecdote. Antidote. It's totally different from an anecdote. Those are two different things. So, yeah, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. It wasn't really that crazy. It was, we're running into, so we came across a couple of things. So in taking inventory, reseller self-inventory, first of all, the past week, a lot of people have been talking about, there's nothing to talk about in reseller news. You can go over to the e-commerce bites and you can read some, vaguely sort of like ominous things about what's coming and what's going to happen, and the seller updates right around the corner, things like that. But those didn't really get me going. And this week, pretty much the only thing that gets me going is knowing that we still have the nuclear reset. I still feel in control of that, and that we're still affecting sales. Even though things are different, I still feel like we sort of have that going for us, and we should just hope that everything holds on. And in fact, I saw Polish Pete, Curious Collection, Flipping Ain't Easy, and Josh Galt last week, all talking about I don't know, we're just gonna buckle down. We're gonna knuckle our buckles like a pirate. Arr, I'm going to adjust my giant buckle. Oh, I probably have buckles on my boots as well. I'll adjust those. Arr. Lots of buckles. Boot buckles. Stoics in the house. Aloha, Stoic. We've got Biff. We've got Kent. We've got eBay Life. Aloha. I was, what was I going to mention about you, eBay Life? Did you say that to eBay Life today? You may have. You may have been the one that actually just made me go, yeah, there's nothing to say, really. It's kind of like let's just there's nothing different. This is our job. This is our job. We got to work it. If things are we got to adjust and work and everything. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, eBay Life, but that was your message. And that's like the news of the week is the message from all the creators on YouTube is just do some work right now. Just do some work. It's all we can do is do work. So that's what we're going to do.
Hi, James. What's going on, fellow humans and roosters?
Welcome, Patricia and James. 6x6 is here as well. Did I miss anybody up top? Let me just double check. Decor Depot. Oh, Patricia. Thank you, both of you. Yeah, eBay is doing kind of well right now. So I'm trying not to get psyched on that because then they're gonna rip it out. They're gonna rip out my heart and show it to me, pulsing, and then I die. So let's see. Patricia. Did you get any free anybody signing up? I mean, I'm just curious. I'm wondering if it's worth doing that some more because Decor Depot, I could share his. I can share Patricia's more. I'm just curious if you got any actual feedback from that attempt to share your promo code. And wondering if anybody is like, I also saw a couple other people on YouTube. Who was I watching? Keep track of everybody I watch. Somebody else on YouTube who was talking about Etsy. So Etsy is giving out $5 right now to come to people to purchase things on. Etsy is the place to go right now. If you are a reseller, we're still, I don't want to make excuses for us. What we're doing is getting lost in YouTube minutia in eBay and mixing it, and I'm slacking substantially because I'm trying to mix the two things together, which is I complained about it last week. It's a problem, not really. Just do more work. So, not complaining about that. I'm just saying that Etsy, for those of you who need another road, Etsy, take your top 100 items or so, list them Etsy. That's all. I'm going to be promoting that because besides cross-listing or crossing the streams, as I like to call it because it's got some pop culture reference, and the nuclear reset and fracking the horde, which is selling some of your death pile items, this is all we can do right now. Interestingly, I want to show you one thing. I like in the first 10 minutes, I like to show you my number so people can get in and out with their busy. Got to go to the In-N-Out Burger because it's lunchtime. Those of you on the West Coast, it is 10 o'clock in the morning. Good morning. Callie Debs, good morning. I mean, how nice that you just wake up. I wish I live on the East Coast by protest, although it's very nice and the cost of living, I guess, is high, but not compared to California. So I'm very happy being here, but we haven't been to California in a number of years due to the troubles. Now we're just lazy or can't go or something. Now we're just we haven't seen my mom for 8 years. She's probably like a totally different person. She's turned into an old lady. Do you think so? Poor mom. She's now like the mom of the people she's now like grandmom of the people we used to know, like when we were kids. She is. Yeah. My grandma and your grandma sitting by the fire. You know that song. So we're doing what we have to do. Gonna show you some numbers, right? Keep me on track. What are you doing? I'm scared when she's not here by me. This is like flying solo. I so easily get off the rails. We're gonna look at. Okay, watch this. I go small. You're going to see nothing, but then I believe as soon as I do this, you're going to see something. So, and this is just something I like to show, especially Biff Boffo. People like to see this. It's the most you can see back to November 15th. It's the most you can show with this bar graph. And what the bar graph is showing you here is the important mystery of the eBay. So so if I turn off, I'm going to turn off the organic views on here so you can just see external site views, which is the most controversial site views of all time because it's involved in the offsite ads and nobody knows what it is. It's mystery. This is algorithmic ghost phantom smush zone. This is where the little girl from Poltergeist went, is into this bar room. I can't see you, mommy. She's like trapped in the bars. And then she's like, walk into the light. No, don't walk into the light. It's very confusing, these bars. So here you can see that, after this big manipulated drop here, December 8th, nobody can ever say anything that eBay just doesn't have dials, steampunk style dials to turn up and down everything. And then you see how they gently gave this a nutritious slope down, like, oh, this kid ain't going to notice if we gently gaslight him down to the bottom somewhere around January 14th, 17th. This is where I got the least amount. And as you can see, I did a nuclear reset, 2,000 items every day, 1,600, lost a bunch, whatever, big story, nobody cares. The where you see low impressions are days I did not do it. This is the day that eBay said they were going to do a reset on my store, a thing that doesn't exist, or they said it to me, I didn't say it to them. And now you're seeing, as I thought I saw this like flattening out here, and then I started to see this maybe somewhere around February 1st, like maybe we're seeing the beginning of it sloping up again. And then I was like, oh no, February 4th went down, February 5th up, February 6th through today has been increasingly going up again. Why is that? Who knows? It's something to talk about, and I have to kill some time. So, and then if you look at the organic and take out external site, you'll see for the most part, this looks it looks organic. It looks natural, where we had a slightly higher amount in the December months. And then we have less in January, as I would expect to see. So, although it does seem to be, there's a little tiny bit less, but not really. Nothing I would say is weird. And my sales are, sad and lonely, but still keeping us in the game. And yeah. So along with this, I also wanted to show you the thing we were talking last week, and I didn't have the numbers up here, and I just wanted to quickly show you the numbers that I was talking about. Okay, I'm going to talk for a second here, and then I'm going to show you the numbers in just a second from June. So the big 2 Junes. So June was our biggest June ever this last year, and then we fell off the cliff into the promoted listing abyss or whatever happened. And then I looked back at 2022 and I'm like, well, really, this isn't so bad. And then I looked at our numbers and I'm like, well, really, the goal of last year was to do a certain thing, and we succeeded at doing that goal, although we wanted to do better. But we wanted to prove something, and we did do that. So we do that. Here is that thing that you do. Now what? Okay, here you go. So this is the traffic one. So this is June 1st, 2022 sales numbers. And what you'll notice here is that you have selling costs. Can I do this double? I want to show both of these, sort of. That's too hard to really do. No, I can do it. You can see them both right now. So you can see the bottom window is 2023 sales. There we go. So these are so you're seeing them sort of close together, and so you're seeing 2023. This is where we turned on the advanced listing, promoted, whatever. And what you'll see here is something interesting, I think. First of all, in 2022, we only made 6,300, and in this year, June, we made 9,000. In June 1st, 2022, we took home 4,600. This year, we took home 5,600. From that, 30% of our money this year, of our income, of our gross was taking up selling costs, was 30% because we used that. And that's, I think, what people probably would guess. You have a 12%, 12.5% last year, was it? Or was it 13%? 13% final value fee, and then 17% other selling costs. Wait, this actually does include, no, this includes shipping too. That doesn't matter because the number of items that we were shipping are relatively similar. Although you will see when we made the 6,300, our average price was 99 and now it's 59, which means, and this year we sold 151 items, and last year I mean 2022, 64 items. So what this is showing me, besides anything else, is that people are buying on eBay as of June. And then, of course, I'm showing nothing else because then everything died and we all are still burning in purgatory. So this means nothing. What this means is that up until June, eBay still was shoving a whole bunch of customers in our direction. What else do you want to know? Nothing. But this gave me a lot of thought, a lot of food for my thought about how I was really experiencing eBay. And that experience is to say, it's not as bad as it felt, right? It's not as bad as it felt. Yeah. But it's still, you know, the people who are looking here on YouTube are sensitive to these kind of crazy changes. And I think another thing, based on Hayfro's similar recent video on the Giselle, I can't figure out how you're supposed to spell that Giselle, but if it's Giselle or Gazelle, but I was seeing it as the Giselle. But anyway, the interesting part of that is mostly that. What is the interesting part? I always have like my perfectly formulated words and then I lose track of them, and I'm like, about Hayfro's video the other day on the Giselle project and how that's, you know, they just go out kind of ruthlessly. It's about being ruthless in the digital age kind of thing. Taking down your components, or getting us to subdue to eBay, like by really brutalizing us, which is essentially what they did. And I think it works for the most part sometimes when you really just have to get people to succumb to the new way things are. I don't think it's fair or nice, but I think that's kind of is what happened. And the other thing I was also, these are just random thoughts that I, hopefully you guys at home just like sew together and present me with a wreath, like a garlic wreath of all my tangent thoughts. That in 2022 was when, do you remember when they changed the views on eBay? When we used to get tons of views, and then all of a sudden they were like, "This is bots and rival things and outer space." Martians, no. Actually, now we're going to show you your real views, and it was like, so it's not like we've lived through tragedy after tragedy here. Let us see that we keep up, because people. The chatters do not like to be not chatted. They don't like to have I'm sorry, last week I really, a couple times, could not keep up. Just control what we can and not dwell on the past or get excited for the future. Yep, just sort of head down. The head down. Oh, and wait, Josh is here. Oh, he gave me a... Oh, no, he got a skull. Oh, he had a skull this weekend. Josh, interestingly, our sales were good this weekend. Oh, so check out... This is just, I'll throw in some sales from time to time. Now, our sales aren't going to be very exciting. I'm sorry, but that's just the way they are. But we can show you some things which I think are fun to look at. Like, for instance, you guys, everybody's interested, how do we increase sales? I mean, it's a simple question. We're resellers. We want to increase those. And last week, we gave you a couple of really good suggestions to do this. And one of them is to look at an item or items that you haven't sold for a while and just just talk trash to them. Just tell them that they suck. They need to go. You don't want to deal with them anymore. And the deal was we couldn't sell. We have sold all kinds of 45s. We had thousands of them. We still have quite a few of them, maybe thousands left. They're all leaving for great prices. Can't sell, can't give away Beach Boys. Well, Bridget and I mean, Spam, whatever her name is, we took turns going down and yelling at the records, and specifically at the Beach Boys. 4 of them gone. Look at these. Boom, 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 boom. That's right. Also, if you're ever walking around, if you ever find reel-to-reel tapes, they, you know, we've had these. These were under a pile that we found, so we've had them for a long time. But $23 a piece, 10-inch metal reels. Sell those all day long, and they usually come in a box of like 20. So when you add all that money together, it's like $1,400. No, it's $23.76 times 20. 40, like 400 maybe, something like that. 2 times 2. I'm just going with the first numbers that are there. Anyway, so it's kind of how you alphabetize things. The A's are just in the A area. It's not like it's A, B, then A, C, then A, D. It's just the A's are together, which is better than other options. Okay. Back. Let's go to the chat. Yeah. So Josh, I'm attracted back to your skull there. The sales this weekend have been. I didn't show you all of them. I just showed a couple. And they have been sort of okay. I mean, they're keeping us afloat. And we so much trying to bury ourselves in work, and some of that's just doing YouTube stuff. So it's not even making money on eBay, and that's I gotta work on that. Do I have to work on that, sweetie? I have to work on that. Okay, that's all that deserves. Let's see here. Spam, you got the actual beans. Look at that. Nice. I sold on Etsy and Mercari this weekend, but nothing at eBay till today. So eBay. So most of you have had kind of a weird eBay. Now, do you guys? I know some of you, what some of you do. Now, those of you who are doing the nuclear reset, are resetting every day, or are resetting within a couple of days, like doing 20% a day, 20%, 20%. Are you guys still noticing? I mean, I showed you my numbers. I'm not necessarily losing page views, except for where they've intentionally dialed it down, which does mean I'm losing page views. But they're doing it. The algorithm, the people, the giant steampunk dial, whatever it is, that's okay, though, because that's how algorithms, that's how business works. They get to control it. They're trying to get me to do stuff that, of course, they don't know me. I'm like, eBay, you don't know me. You don't know how obstinate I am. You just don't know. And I think Kevin Stoic is also obstinate. Some of us are going to be really obstinate, and we're just not going to do it. It's against our better judgment too. It's just a matter of being forced. Those are us who are kind of ruined to go back to work anywhere, are the people who just can't take your orders. You know, it's like, eat this ice cream. No, I'm not going to. How about that? Okay, don't eat the ice cream. Oh, this ice cream is so delicious. It's not, I'm not hard to manipulate, I suppose, in that case. Yeah, Etsy's the place, everybody. I'm really feeling very strong. I'm feeling bullish on Etsy. Jen, aloha, Jen. Kent, if I didn't say hi. Jeff Zenick, aloha, guys. Oh, Landshark's here too. Aloha, Landshark. And let's see, anybody else? Oh, there's lots more. Words are coming. They're coming in fast, Bridget. Spam. Bridget Spam. Sorry. Hold on. I can just do this. Nobody will ever know. Probably not the right time to come to California. Mom's up in Sebastopol, which is, I think, right around the corner from Josh's spiritual center of Guerneville. It's just above. It's in the sort of easterly. Like if you got to go west from Napa. You go towards the ocean, and there's some cool little places over there, little nooks. Sales completely. Oh, that was Josh saying that. Anybody else saying you're totally dead? Anybody saying that the nuclear reset is working? Motorcycle Dork is here too. Aloha. Stoic, were you actually from California? You moved up to the as the East Coasters say, the Oregon. Jeff, yes, welcome. Thank you for catching us live. I'm just trying to catch up with these so nobody goes unheard. And I saw Jack came in, and when Jack comes in, then I'm like, I have to put on my reading glasses and read it all. So let's see what else. A few peeps use the code, and to you and those people, many thanks. I appreciate the Etsy match of dimes. Yeah, well, awesome. Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's a little something that we can do, and that means that more people are going to get on Etsy. We're going to take some of our business over there, hopefully give them a little bit of love for them doing what they're doing now, which is encouraging people to come there and buy by giving away $5. As far as I know, it's $5 free off of anything, which it has to be 50 off a $50 purchase. Thank you. Thank you for the fine print. She's the fine print. That's what she does. And she's fine, too. You love it.
Just all right, zip it. You can't even zip it. Zip. Look.
So, what else do I have to say? Okay, I'm diving deeper into the words. Here we go. Paul, it's not great, still broken, stale, slow, low balls, non-payers, time wasters, and bizarre request messages. Business as usual for the last year. Okay. Well, I would say that is, I'm going to say that's okay because it's at least not worse. Decor Depot, I've been doing the nuclear resets every 5 days, but the past 2 days have been really good, so I don't want to break it. Yeah, Decor, do you want to share your Etsy code too? And I'm happy to share that. I can do that, just switch off with people, maybe just between you and Patricia, but I know you had given me yours last week, so if you want me to, maybe you should give me a new one in case it doesn't work or something. Yeah, we have had it. There's just been a little burst of activity. So if I go look, I won't subject you to looking at the numbers page again. And if the way I'm reading that, the update of the terms and conditions for their marketing program, I still have this sneaking suspicion that eBay itself is a marketing platform. And so when they issue this last thing, it sort of covers everything they do. And it only even bothers me when they say that you can't use eBay's likeness or their logo and stuff, and they start to put controls like that in there. And it's very loose language. It's just very loose. So I'm not scared of it, but I'm like, it could be at the end of March or whenever these go into effect at the end of March. Is it the 24th of March? No? Oh, darn, because that would have been awesome. Well, when these terms and conditions do go into effect, we might not be able to show the back room. I'm going to think about it. If there's nobody to ask, I would have to, I don't know. There's nobody to ask. So I have to really read them hard and see if I can interpret it and see if those terms and conditions could apply to all eBayers on YouTube doing videos. I don't know. I'm just saying it's not, if you're looking at the Gazelle project or whatever, if you're looking at all the ways to sort of coerce and force people to pay more to you, that is something they could do to me and make me and spank me. So we'll see. Again, I'll have to read it more, but Jen says, had a really good couple of days last week, but nothing is good since. Okay. A few decent days, so definitely better. It in general, since we're operating emotionally most of the time around eBay since we got jacked last year. If you're not feeling worse, then status quo is like good. And then better is also good. And best, of course, be best. But as long as it's not worse, that's better. Right? You know. Oh, wait, Paul. Oh, yes. Paul also says, only do a small number of end and sell similars a day. Don't have the free insert. The UK is very, they don't have the same system as we do here. So they don't have the opportunity to sell 50,000 free insertion fees. You have to pay for insertion fees, I believe. And eBay is the same. eBay Life is the same as Paul Rose. I reset all listings that don't have sales on them once a month. Now that is getting into, at some point, if we were to take the nuclear reset and be really smart about it, we'd be doing it to certain items at certain times. Since eBay does actually tell you must end and sell similar every month, every 30 days, or your items will not be seen. That is eBay telling you that. And I believe, wouldn't it be cool if I could just bring up the stuff that I talk about? It was, I want to, it might have been eBay Australia. It might have been Australian eBay lady person. So I should find that and then I'll show you. But anyway, eBay does say that you should end and sell similar every 30 days. Absolutely. 100% for sure. Without a doubt. So then if you take that to, that's a one thing that works. That's how I very easily took a giant step to just doing it every day. And I don't think they'll get rid of that. I don't think they can get rid of that currently because they need to give first day exposure. They could individually hamper an account or something perhaps, but I think they don't do that. I think they don't want to do that. They want to encourage you through absolute soul destroying pressure to do what they want. That's how they would prefer to do it. Soul crushing. Yes. Our souls are not crushed yet. No, we've got some more space. I mean, we're under the clamp and my my bulbous guts are starting to squeeze out, but no, we're not crushed. And let's see, major win. We have not been doing any resets yet, but probably will be starting very soon. Major win. I want you to be super careful. Be very, very careful. I did a really cool video about how to do it, but I just, it's too personal and complicated, and I don't want to be responsible for when you erase some of your items because you're going to be angry and you're going to want to murder me. So that's why I didn't put out a video on it. But please be very slow and deliberate. You don't have to. It's not hard not to lose stuff, but if you have just one like, darling, dearest, come help me with the souffle, you could accidentally. Please feel free to write down all the words I make up. Accidentally. Ooh, I like that. Yeah, it's 100% there's going to be an accident. It's like when you do stuff. Something's going to break. Only do oh, wait, I read that, sorry. We haven't been doing any, I already read that. Major win. I think it helps, but it's not magic bullet. It's not a magic bullet, but what it is just getting your items seen. And the items that sell when you do a reset, you'll notice a couple items a day sell that just are sitting there. So it has that value and it works. But it's not, what it does do is it gives you a basis where your regular items are being seen and so they can sell. You still need to pepper in, and this is our big thing, you have to put in high sell-through rate items. You got to have a good selection of both. That's the way business has always worked, and I think that's still very much the way eBay is working. But if you have all slow sell-through rate items, and you need to have 1 million of them, of course, James is a good example of that. And our
James.
our fave Josh Galt there is, he's got, I think, and he's going to have, I don't know how many he's going to have when he's done listing all these. I think 8,000 items. He's in a listing frenzy right now. So, so if I am keeping track properly of everybody's store inventory, Josh had about 30, no, he had 13.5 plus the 8, 21. 21.5 he's going to have when he's done. Josh is up to, James is up to 52,000 items. That's so many items. So James could have, a $10 an item. Well, let me think about store value here. So is store value really a better way to keep track of how much you're listing on eBay? Number of items or item value? What's everybody think on that one? I think it's probably item value. So list $500 a day or whatever, whatever you want to do, as opposed to 10 items worth $50. Which one's better? No one knows. Decor says sometimes I just lovingly caress something I've had for a while and it suddenly gets the creeps, and then you're shipping it away. Yeah, it wanted to leave, so it put out the vibes. Yeah, I know. That could probably work too. I think you can use cringe as a powerful tool. We just really hated you Beach Boys losers. And they maybe that's why they left. We hurt their feelings. They cried. Oh no. We caused despair amongst the 45s. Uploading my most recent Etsy listings to Instagram and listing. Gina, aloha Gina. I don't know if we said hi, but we will. And we will also include WTF from Germany. Auf Wiedersehen. No, that's not even funny. But we just watched one of the funniest movies this weekend, Bridesmaids. And we find when we're feeling a little down or we don't really know how to feel about something, or like, just not feeling it. Bridesmaids is an excellent movie to get you back in the swing of things. Let's see. What happened to chat with eBay? Did anything come from that? Is Diamante Dave in here? If he is, he hasn't shared and nobody shared. So, I don't know what that means necessarily, but, Hayfro said that they talked to him about him. They did talk to him about him specifically. And that other stuff too, but he's trying to gather and other things, and he's trying to gather his thoughts. Yes, that is what he said. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Kent's asking a question if Tech's getting paid by eBay. Tech is a businessman. If he can get another revenue stream from eBay, good for him. I would not fault him. He does not appear to me to be like, what is good for Tech is good for Tech. He's sharing information, but why shouldn't he just make $1 any way he can? He's a go-getter, so I wouldn't put it past him. Gina is saying that sales were bad this weekend. Reset not working as well. I'm going to try Jeff's way of 200 at a time. Anything to, it depends on which 200 items you're resetting. So if you're resetting, so if you were to able to judge your items, give them A through F grades. Maybe you don't have Fs because you've cleared them out, or maybe you got some D, maybe you got some C. I don't know I don't know how to grade, people's items, but I know we have the lowest items. They're probably just because they're inexpensive. So I would say that above the transformer weapon, like one little missile that we sell, they sell for $10. So of course we have those, but we'll have records by like Barbara Streisand. The second I mention that now, we will sell one, but they're not even like something I really want on my grade A store. I'd put it on my B grade store. However, they do sell. So I keep them on my, what's my point? only get halfway through my thought, and then I'm just like, so lame. Yes, right. Okay. So if you're selling your lamest items, for lack of a better term, and you're resetting those 200, I personally do not believe you'll get the same result from the nuclear reset relisting those items. You get the biggest bang from relisting. Well, certainly relisting any item gets you that first day pop. But if you want to see things, if you're not doing it every single day, and you want, because it just doesn't carry to the next day. So I feel like doing a nuclear reset, perhaps on your best items and relisting those every day, those 200 every single day, may be a better use of those relists than relisting your 200 worst items, just because you're doing a separate group of 200 items every day. Like, so instead of doing your whole store with this theory, although the only way you're going to sell your worst items is to relist them to end and sell similar. That's why I have to do everything all at once. But if you relist your best items, ones you know are the best, and you do those and you keep putting those out every single day, those are probably going to sell faster than the crappy items that you put out every single day. Tell me if I'm wrong there. I could be. I will not agree with you, but it certainly could be. Curious Collections, last week's sales, terrible as well. Tried end and sell similar, and it didn't work either. Platform was pretty glitchy last week. Yeah, I'm not sure what your end and sell similar strategy, but I do remember, and it's going, it went around in my head when you said you had a $2 day, and I'm like, okay, well, it does make sense because it was a postcard. And then I was like, well, most people sell, like, when they buy a postcard and then have it shipped, don't you buy like 5 postcards at least to like sort of make it worth it? And then I was like, well, no, if somebody wants a postcard, but I believe the postcard business is multiples. People usually buy a stack of them, maybe. But I was like, dang, I would just be kind of like, wow, on that. On the $2 day, because at that point you only had $2. Hopefully it went up a little bit. Jack says, make you wonder to Kent's question, which was, that's too far away. I can't get to it. Stoic is also acknowledge the issue because he only focuses on what's working. Oh, you're talking about tech. Sorry. Yeah, tech does only focus on what's working. So what he's doing is, so what we're doing here is getting together and looking at things that aren't working and seeing if we can, sort of like put together a couple of tricks to kind of move it forward. That has to do with what we sell. That's why we're here. Go to tech. All you're going to hear is clothing stuff. So it doesn't apply to a lot of the things that we're selling. A lot of us don't sell any clothes at all. Kevin Stoic is, an exception to that. And I know some of you do sell some clothes. And I certainly know UK seems to sell a lot of clothing. There seems to be a lot of UK clothing sellers. But if there's, hold on, I'm reading and talking at the same time, and they just conflicted. Because I saw, Temu, what is it? Temu. It's Temu. It's not Temu. Temu.
No, it's not T. It was like
Temu. Shop like a billionaire. You son of a guns. You Temus. That was embarrassing. Temu. No, it's not Temu. Because that's what we think it is. It's Tamu. Maybe. I don't really want to know how to pronounce it right. So we're not going to talk about it anymore. Stoic said that, yes. So tech does focus on things that work, and only in his industry. And I like him. It's fine. And I do notice that he now says, I'm the #1 seller on eBay in men's clothing in every single possible category of men's clothing and hats. So that's good. Because he used to just say he was #1 reseller on eBay. And I'm like, but the clothing is just like a whole different animal. I can't even do it. It's like I could do it, but the amount of knowledge it takes to it's entry level thing where it's not entry level. It's ease of access to get into it is easy, whatever you call that. The entry to it doesn't have a lot of what are those things that get in your way? Hurdles. So you can just go to the Goodwill and start picking up clothes. But to do it well, you got to make a whole lot of mistakes. I'm just not willing to do that because I already made all my mistakes and all this other crap I sell. So I can't sell clothing too, or don't want to, for that matter. I don't want to sell shoes because there's poo on the shoes. Curious Collection. Whatnot had 0 seller fees on Saturday, Sunday for sellers. When was the last time eBay offered 0? Can you imagine that? And I did notice that Daily Refinement was doing a 24-hour Whatnot sale. 24 hours. They were just they must have been taking advantage of that. And they just had one reseller after another come up. I don't know what's going on. He's doing a lot of stuff over there. Like he's hiring people and then they work for him, but they sell their own stuff. I don't know what's going on there. But it's interesting, I guess. The Quirky Picker Chad, aloha. I'm watching this on my Roku and computer with a fraction of a second delay. Makes you sound like you are speaking in an amphitheater. Ladies, and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I love that one. That's just fun. Wait, was I supposed to do that today? We're trying to decide, is this really research? So we're going to come in on at 1 o'clock on Wednesday and Monday and 4 o'clock on Friday, but we are getting closer to needing to move our Tiki show over to the other channel that we have because it's confusing to people, and I think that it's bad YouTubery. You know how we are. Very important YouTubers. We made $200, since the first of the year. So take that. Did you take that? Oh, you did take that. Quirky Chad. Sorry, I said hi, but then I didn't read your thing. No, I did read your thing. I'm talking to Amphitheater. Thank you. Good Karma Antiques. Aloha. Can a person selling on Etsy reference their eBay store to show off its positive feedbacks? I have never sold on Etsy and have no reputation selling there. Good question. Let's see if somebody answers that for us. Like Patricia, who is our resident Etsyer. Biff does some, but I don't recall him saying that he was like psyched on it or anything. But Patricia does, I think she does sales often. Jack says, clean copy of Streisand will sell. I know, right? It's like old pop music from the 50s. Mostly 78 dealers won't buy it. I get clean copies for nothing and sell it for $8. Yes, that's how much I sell them for, $12. And it's in this case, it's condition. So, so many of these, nobody cares about, the Partridge Family and stuff. They're just trashed. So if you can find some of these things that were pop that you wouldn't think they're very valuable or people want them and they're in great condition, that's why they have that value. I have all these chasers trying to find Zeppelin $20 albums. I find 10 to 1 $20.78 to LPs and get them cheaper than the rock vinyl. It's great. Yeah, but Jack, you can't sell them. You have to sell them though. I mean, you can buy them well. I mean, how is selling going on those? Please tell me it's good. 6x6 says, when the platform went glitchy on Friday, my entire weekend was zilch. Sunday night only. Sunday night only. We had continuous sales all weekend. We didn't notice any slowdown at all. I can say that because I was pretty shocked. Paul Rose, that's a new the shutdown that James mentions in his videos. That's the new normal of eBay, is the shutdown. Now, I do think they do shut down. So, people do comment a lot, and when somebody is giving their guesstimation, their thought process, I don't have any problem with that. And shutting down, are they geocaching? Are they doing updates? whatever the verbiage you want to apply to it, it's a time when the service is not available to us. Our items are not being served for one reason or another. And currently, I truly believe that reason is has to do with geocaching. That, maybe, so imagine this. Okay, I'm gonna draw a picture in your brain. Okay, imagine 24 hours around the world. And eBay's a global company. So 12 noon, that's going to be your hot hour, right? Hot hour. East Coast, 12 o'clock, that's hot. That's where the bulk of your sales are going to be, or where you're focusing the bulk of your resources, your server resources. I don't know. This actually sounds really lame now that it's coming out of my mouth, but I'm still going with it. So then as the globe turns, with each click, with each time zone, it goes into with each hour, it goes into a new time zone. That's the primary one, just there. And then resources fade out around the world. So that at midnight, you're going to have the lowest resource load at your time zone, which means that sales will be going on everywhere but where you are. This does not sound stupid. This does not sound like a way not to make sales on eBay. Although, eBay not to operate their sales. I think it makes more sense to say that they're trying to save on shipping by matching you up, a person closer to you than somebody farther away with the same item. Those are my two theories that I just mixed up, and now they just sound like pudding in my brain. Tapioca with little chunks. I have Patricia. Thank you, Patricia. I have better sales on Etsy now than eBay, and they are paying the asking price, and they are getting $5. Dudes and dudettes, rush your buns over to Etsy. If you are here and enjoying the slowdown of eBay, get over to Etsy now. Now is it. Last week, it was pretty clear that was, it seemed really clear to me that that's the thing to do, and it still does. But now they're doing a $5. They had multiple advertisements on the Super Bowl. They're caring about sellers. Clearly, this is the time to strike when the iron's hot. Maybe eBay is going to feel this. Go over there. Make your vote, so to speak. Open up an Etsy shop. Let Etsy report some insane numbers this quarter. Let them, add your number to their list so that eBay can go, oh, whoops, Jamie, Walmart. And then, maybe that's the kind of stuff that could make a difference, I'm saying. And plus, if Etsy is where the sales are, you might make money at the same time. That's what I would think. Oh, okay, so Jack is saying that, wait. So I have better sales, and then Patricia says, but that shop is just my mid-century vintage hard goods. So for stuff that's, not for clothing, but for mid-century modern and hard goods, Etsy is the place. And that's the kind of stuff that we have. I wonder about records and stuff. And then Jack says 78 sales are cool. So in his groups, not on eBay, but in, sort of person-to-person sales through groups and so forth.
He skipped over Dendecor's
Okay.
Etsy code.
Did he have, where is it? Oh my gosh, I have to find it now. Got it. So sorry. I'm going to put it right here. Then it will have a yellow thing next to it. At least you can find it that way. Yes. Oh, I don't think I can write Decor. So, yeah, you guys should go over there. Decor Depot Etsy code. Boom. Now I said code twice. How dare me. Okay, so we used Patricia's on Friday or Wednesday, and we used Dendecor's today. And if anybody else, it sounds like Patricia got some. So she gets 40 free listings with that. You get 40 free listings. That's like a first timer kind of a deal. And when you open up your store. And so hopefully, if she got 3, that means she got 120 free listings. And those come out, they're not terrible, but I believe they're 20 cents for 4 months. So they're 5 cents a month per item. So, that's money.
And didn't somebody say that they opened the new store, but they didn't use the code at the right time?
Yes, you have to use the code when you open the store. You can't put it in after the fact. So make sure you use the code to open the store.
And then for the $5 off 50 orders on Etsy, the gift code is gift mode.
Wait, what about the gift mode?
Oh, just
Etsy is doing something called gift mode. I don't know what that is. But
yeah, it's helping you find gifts for people.
maybe.
But anyhow, you can get $5 off.
Well, I don't think you have to use gift mode. I think they're just giving you $5 off $50 items.
Code is gift mode. The code.
Oh. I wouldn't trust her. She's back there. I don't think she's part of our podcast thing here. She's just wandering in from out. She's like Donnie in Big Lebowski. You wander into the movie, Donnie. No, she's no Donnie. She's no Donnie. She doesn't end up as ashes. The thing about the platform enshittification is the sellers must be platform locked for the process to work airtight. And we're not. So they can't do that. So all the more reason to go over and use Decor Depot's code to sign up for your store. Use the code to sign up. Use the link to sign up for your store. You're out of your element, Donnie. That's what I... Sorry, sweetie. 656, come on. You're out of your element, Spam. She doesn't even go here. So go do that. I think that's, if you're going to take something from today's talk, that's it. That's the thing. It's time to diversify. It's time to go over to Etsy. Use Decor Depots. If you want to use Patricia's, hers is on the Friday show. The Wednesday show last week. But either way, use one of their codes so that and then go sign up for your Etsy store. I think Hayfroze is doing this. I think this is the first, for those of us who don't do cross-listing, this is definitely the safest feeling of what you can do to cross-list. What's wrong? The dog is floppy? He's just like a little molten bag of mud. You're just a warm little bag of mud. You gonna go out? He didn't want to go out. Probably wants a treat now. Dogs. For those selling on multiple platforms, do you find it advantageous to use the same username? Well, I mean, it depends on if you're branding, right? So I'm old school Artifacts, so I try to carry that across all the different platforms, if possible. I mean, Primo Kimo, I've got that on every, like from MySpace to Kajili. I mean, I don't know. I put Primo Kimos everywhere. So I just locked them up, like when I came up with the name 20 years ago, just anything that existed. And then anything that came up, I tried to lock up. But yeah, I'm trying to think of a reason. The only reason to separate your brand is if you want to have multiple brands, especially if you're dealing with different types of items or different quality of items. So if you have, dollar store items, you definitely don't want to mix those up with your Rolex watches. It won't be a good user experience. So then you would definitely want to have two different names. But I think that our brand is pretty it's the same across. And then we do have Junk Drawer Empire, which is where we put our, things that aren't necessarily up to the old school Artifacts brand name. And then also they could be broken or they could be an empty box. So we just didn't want to put some of that stuff on to our main store. And that could be working too, because we have been putting stuff into Junk Drawer Empire and getting some sales there, which we just kind of consider it nothing. And then all of a sudden it's been kind of shocking. Small numbers of cheap items, and that didn't happen before. Someone on this chat is going to start a replacement website for eBay, and we're here for it. Yeah. I mean, it could be Etsy. It could be sitting right in front of us this whole time. Etsy is poised to. Now I'm talking from a layman external looking at the external, which I think I'm pretty good at analyzing how consumers and people behave, but I'm not looking at it from an investor's point of view, which is probably why I got in such, why maybe some of us got in such trouble with eBay, didn't see all this stuff happening, was because it was all based on investors. So Etsy is currently outwardly saying that we're going to start respecting sellers more. And so that's what makes it a great time to go there. And hopefully we can install something, in there like ourselves. Major Win says, I thought this channel was Primo Kimo. Like I was on Kimo. Oh, no. Before we get here. Well, give me some time. I figure someday I'll be on Kimo. Won't we all almost? Kimo is Hawaiian for Jim. So, or James. My name is James. But Kimo is, where's that patch? I can't see it there. I'll bring it next time probably. Anyway, Kimo's just Jim. It's literally, they don't have J in Hawaiian language, so K is the closest one. Kim is actually like a name for a man's name too, Kim. But anyway, Kimo is just how you say Jim in Hawaiian. So it's a very common name on Hawaii. There's some restaurants called Kimos and stuff, and that is Jim. Or Jimmy. They might call him Jimmy or something. So we would have loved it either way. Well, thankfully, currently, I'm not experiencing that. But I don't think I would change. Maybe we would just change the letters if something terrible like that happened. It's okay. What's that?
That makes sense.
Primo Kimo. Yeah, if you hear it, it does kind of sound that way, doesn't it? eBay is subjectively transparent and it continues to hurt them instead of the grandiose reveal and the payoff for their sellers. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, never trust anybody who starts a sentence with, to be honest. To be honest, I very much feel that, I don't know what I feel. Major Win, thank you. That's what I feel. I feel excited. I'm going to press some hearts for myself here. Some celebration, some happy faces, a couple of consternation faces, and definitely a whole mess 100%. Thank me. Thank you very much. To be perfectly, yes, I have a Hawaiian beer can called Primo. Yes, you do, Quirky Picker. That is my thing. So if you look back here, you'll see a whole bunch of cans stacked up there. And then this little sign right here is a Primo beer sign from the 60s there. And that's sort of where I got the moniker Primo, because I collected the Primo beer stuff for so long. And when I was a kid, it was like my first beer I ever drank when I was under 10 years old in Waikiki when the locals made me drink it. And then I became a superhero, and everything's been okay. Until eBay in June of last year tried to mess with us. That's right.
Corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking. Just a moment.
So wait, I was surmising my current feelings of eBay are this. The current state of eBay is this. It's our number one. It's still our number one. I believe that taking your top 100 items or whatever you have, trying out Etsy, if you're not a cross lister, if you already don't if you got a system out, but if you're looking for some way to affect some sort of action on your current reality, your reselling reality. And I think, listen to some of these other people that I heard, like I mentioned Polish Pete and Curious Collection and Flipping It Easy and Josh Galt. And the key is to stay working and engaged, because even we are suffering from that. We're like, this sucks, let's do something else, but oops, we still have to pay bills. So it's to stay engaged, stay working. So yeah, you can feel like, we're losing this battle or something, feel whatever terrible emotion you want to feel, but keep working, because we're not losing this battle. And there's some ups and downs. It's going to happen, but there's no way this isn't going to we're not going to end up figuring something out that's going to, work for everybody. And we're going to have to make some changes. We're going to have to go out and maybe get some, dirty massagers and stuff. I don't think so, but we might have to make some compromises, but other than that, we're all going to be back together. We're going to have it's not going to be exactly the same. It's kind of like a vasectomy. It's not exactly the same. Am I right? Am I right, guys? It's not exactly the same, but it will still be good. eBay at this point. Patricia is adding, because I can't offer any insight into Etsy yet. That is coming quickly. It just still hasn't happened yet. So I want to be able to document that to a certain extent. Most people know how to use it, but I at least want to be able to relay our experience properly. Decor says, so eBay Ick Factor, eBay for Business just posted on their Facebook page about passing your shipping discount to customers. Yeah, they want you to do that, but I'm not. So there. I mean, I do. So last night I had those 5 records you may have seen. That was $5 a piece shipping. I have it set up so it's $5 plus 1 at each additional record, but nobody seems to see that when they go to purchase something. So everyone buys the first record and then contacts me and says, can you combine shipping? I say, of course. The first 5 of them are $5. How about that? I mean, in this case, I did. The way I have it set up on eBay is it's $5 for the first one and $1 each. But really, this was going to Massachusetts. 5 records can ship for $5, no problem. And like $4.60 or something. So I believe I'm not even losing money on the final value fees or whatever. So I don't know why I was telling you that. Forgot that too. But that makes me a great reseller to pass it on. So I pass it on anyway, is my point. If it makes sense. Never calculated shipping do we use. I use a flat rate, and I've had it I've adjusted it over time for expenses, but it is $5 same day, $8.50 same day, $12.50 one day, $17.50 one day, $27.50 one day, $37.50 one day, and 63 days. And I gauge that. I mean, it's not hard to figure those things out. But I think it's harder to figure out lighter items than it is heavier ones. Because heavier ones you can put on a scale and go, it's 30 pounds. I'll add, 3 pounds for weight. But you can't add 3 pounds to a 1 pound item, then it will be 4 pounds. So anyway, it's too if you do the calculated shipping, it's never worked for me. It always shows way too much and discourages sales. Giving people free shipping does nothing for anybody as far as I can tell, but it's good for certain items. I mean, for sure, it's got to be good for certain items. We'll do it very, very occasionally. Like when we sold that $1,800 Patagonia, we were like, sure, we'll throw in the $8.50 shipping. How about that? Yeah, that's right. We're great. So that's the only time we've ever done free. Yes, if it's a article of clothing over $1,000, that's probably the only one we've ever sold over $1,000. Although we've sold some Bonnie Cashin jackets and stuff. And those were hundreds and hundreds. But I think we charge shipping for those. Blah, 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 blah. Let's see. FedEx is launching an e-commerce platform later this year. Google new FedEx commerce. Maybe. Are you serious, Jeff? I haven't really heard about that, so I'll have to look into it. But I wonder. It's really interesting when companies pivot like that. So it's, even if you're kidding, I don't know, because FedEx is already shipping everything. Why wouldn't they just have a website to sell stuff and then they'll ship it? That's interesting. Isn't that interesting? Decor Depot. Oh, I already read that one. Patricia says she only discounts eBay UPS calculated. So Patricia uses calculated. We just never do. Patricia, UPS calculated on eBay for my clocks that mostly ship from Philly to Southern California is terrible and kill sales. Yeah. So that's why when I did something like that, what I would do is, so the last, I had a Sirocco clock. Yeah, it was a big round one with maybe 50, 60 little, fins on the end, plastic, delicate. Then you got to like somehow get around the center of the clock with that cheap movement and not bend the pins. So I have this technique to do it, but it takes me a lot of time. So if I charge to sell one of those for $250, I will charge an attractive $17.50 shipping. That thing is going to cost me $25, $30 in time, at a regular rate, not my super genius $1,000 a minute rate. But the materials aren't going to cost that much, and I know it's going to make it. So did I just take $25 from my profit? Yes. But I don't think I would have sold that clock because the rest of them only sold for $200. So I charged $250 plus shipping. I think we all understand that. It's a game. I mean, this is a game. And sometimes we lose. Currently on the losing end of the game. A little plea. Decor, I have a 10% discount plus handling fee, which makes it about 5%. But ask your mechanic to pass his parts discount on to you. Right, exactly. Because that's how you make money. That's part of the expected reality. I mean, and eBay clearly not recognizing, not being honest about the fact that they're taking fees from the shipping price. So if I'm giving away shipping money, they're still taking money. So that's just dumb. I mean, it's dumb for us to fall for it. That's all. Jack says, Mercari works for some, not for others. Payment takes a while. You get paid after item is received by buyer. That was one of the reasons why I decided to cancel my Mercari experiment. And they rate you 3 days later.
They only have 3 days, and if they don't rate you,
Mercari rates you, auto rates you after 3 days. That's super weird. I don't like that. Paul says, sometimes eBay won't let you set the postage to what you actually cost with insurance, depending on the category. You can do it all if you have business policies. You got to do those business policies. They're kind of a pain in the butt at first because they're confusing, but then they're really easy and they save a ton of time.
yeah, we see things that say $100 shipping because someone's using calculated shipping.
Yes, $100 shipping for calculated shipping. And we just, look, and you see, the thing is that happens so frequently. Like, for instance, I like to buy stuff. I just like to buy stuff. But, like, you want to buy, like, a heavier thing, like a computer, like a stereo receiver from the 80s. I happen to be partial to these things. So they're saying, it's a heavy item. These are heavy. I ship heavy items all the time. It's going to cost $60 because of the weight. They probably weigh 50 pounds. It costs $60 to get it from coast to coast. That includes, I would say, minimal ship packaging. But if you want to package it well, maybe you're going to spend another $10 on packaging, so $70. And they're charging $100. They're charging $120. I see $200. That thing is there 6 months later. I'm still kind of looking for a good deal on this particular item because they're kind of expensive. So it takes me a while to actually buy one. Still there, same one. I contact the person. Hey, can you give me, I just ignore the fact that he's charging $200 for shipping and say, I'll just take it off of the price. So he wants $400 plus $200 shipping. I'm like, I'll give you $200 I'll give you $200 in my head, $200 for the item and 100 shippings. That's $300. So for your 600, I'm going to bid him half. He's going to think that I'm being a lowball jerk. But what I'm really doing is giving him the actual price of the unit plus the proper shipping. That's why I don't have one, because he won't give it to me. People are kind of crazy on eBay when it comes to their items. It's like, oh, you can't have something sit there for, example. Okay, best example, and then we'll start to wind down. Clock. I just get in kind of love and with little things. And in our kitchen, we have a whole bunch of, they can only be GE kitchen clocks, like the 6-inch, 8-inch type kitchen clocks. There's a ton of them from the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, tons of them. I mean, so many. You could have 100 probably. I don't even know how many there were, but there's a lot. And I love this one that looked like Scotch tape. It reminds me, it had plaid, like hunter plaid, like red, green, yellow. Plaid, the clock. Round, kind of a squarish clock. I wound around this dude. He's $75 for the clock. It normally sells for $35. 2-3 years over the pandemic. And every single time I saw it, I'm like, dude, $35 plus reasonable shipping. No. Finally, he did do it. We have it now. So, happy ending. That's what she said. I like to end on a happy note. I got the clock. Where's that clock? Do you know? I know. She doesn't even know the clock. Oh, clock. No respect. The clock gets no respect around here. Decor. Okay, I already read that. Clocks run, Patricia says 35 to 60. That seems, yeah, that's exactly right. Jack says, I charge $6 as eBay takes 90 cents off of that from the top. Supplies run $1, leaving me $4.10. And it's always more $4.10. Yeah, I mean, it's 4 ounces for one, and then maybe you're up to 8, possibly over 12, if you have 5. But with these new Ground Advantage, it's pretty inexpensive. And I would, I spent 50 cents a 45 that I sell for $25, $30 a piece. So, I have the room, I also need the money because the sales are slower. So, Major Win says, wearing clothes, anything under £1 we can do for $5.99 or $6.99 for a USPS ground. And most heavy things we put in flat rate, and we charge $8.99 for the priority flat, which is $8.50, right? So priority flat at $8.50. Check your numbers though, but you might be losing on the final value fees at $8.99. Final value fees are $13. So $8.99 times 13.5 equals, yeah, I'm going to guesstimate like you're probably losing 37 cents when you do that. I think. I'd check it out. You might be losing, I think you're losing some dimes. You're in the dime zone. Patricia, Sirico clocks are a shipping nightmare. Never again. They're the worst. I mean, so fragile and just chintzy. Is that a rude word? I'm trying to think of. Yeah, I know it means something's cheap. I don't know if that's a bad word anymore. Can you look it up, please? What? Can you ask our nephew if that's a bad word? Anyway, I'm not going to use it again in case it's a bad word now. But cheap, tinsely. It's no, chintz is a thing, right? Chintz is a thing. Okay, now I gotta look it up. Very concerned.
Major Win is saying their grandmother collected Sirocco. Beautiful.
Chintz. Chintz is to caulk in a makeshift or temporary fashion. Chintz. Okay, well, definition by Wiktionary, chintz, obsolete. Alternate form of the bed bug. It's a chintz. Huh. Calico fabric, a painted or stained calico fabric. Anyway, so Sirocco is made out of, I think they wanted you to think it was wood, but it's a, what's the word when you mix two elements together to make a thing? Not an amalgam, but it's a thing. They squished plastic with maybe some wood resin at first, wood, and then it changed to full, like, plastics, before they were called plastic, they were called something. Patricia knows this. But anyway, so Sirocco started, I think, in the 40s with plastic and wood under high pressure, and they would form things. Like glue and wood, and they would form things. Then that turned to really plastic. And when I say chintzy, I don't mean that the stuff isn't cool or collectible, because it is. It's delicate. It's fragile. It's the plastic. Like an alloy, yes, like an alloy. But I think for plastics, it's called something else. It's like when you use part A and part B, and then it becomes a thing. But anyway, so it's a composite. That's it. It's a composite material. So who was that? Patricia knows everything. So that's why it's bad. So that composite wears out, the plastic dries over time and just becomes super fragile. So when you have like a two foot across clock, and it's got individual, like little tiny plastic things holding on these little fan things, and there's 50 or 60 of them around in a circle, that thing has to be locked down so tight. And we did get it to the lady. When she got it, she was like, I don't like this. I'm going to return it. Then she didn't return it on time. And then like another 30 days passed, and she's like, I was sick and I want to return it. And I was like, no. I can't think of the sound effect to use for that. She was in Oakland and I'm in Vermont, and I'm like, no, you cannot return that to me anymore. You will have that clock forever, or sell it to somebody in California. I'm sure you can get at least what you paid for it. Am I right? It was Patricia. Oh no, sorry, Patricia. Oh, I'm sorry. The grandson of, Patricia says the grandson of the Sirocco founder is one of my customers. Yeah. It's a totally we used to collect Sirocco back when, it was free, and then we sold it all because people wanted it. So we don't have it anymore. We had lots of it, lots of intricate, like gold scroll work and things. I'm sure my grandparents had it. It was very trendy, sort of, 70s. It was around in the 50s, 60s, but I think 70s is when it really, that's when it became plastic and harder to coordinate. Maybe 60s. By the 70s, it might have been gone. I don't know. Let's see. eBay doesn't care because they get their money no matter what they do, and they cut. Yeah, they're so mean to us. We love them. We just want to come in. I will do the foot washing like in the Super Bowl. eBay will be there. I will wash the feet of eBay. Just come to the table, man. Lady. Whatever you are, eBay. Come to me. Let me wash your feet. Let's see. Outdoor World. Wait, Major Win says, I have an autistic nephew that collects ancient coins. I guarantee you he has bought from you. He is quite the collector. That's awesome. Yeah, the Sirocco, they had some really cool stuff that was I guess you would call it brutalist. It looked like chunks of metal sort of connected with just like, it was very not abstract. But it looked like metal. And those used to go for quite a bit of a chunk of change. I sold a few of those for that and Siegere. They kind of like, there's bigger Sirocco pieces that can be quite expensive. Let's see. 6x6 said I had to reach around for something, which I don't doubt. GE had some cool wall clock designs. Outdoor Worlds, just give him advice to, this is about his nephew, just give him advice to shop only from trusted sellers when it comes to ancient coins. Lots of fakes. You need to know what you're doing. We watched this one guy on YouTube called, his name is Alex Zander. What's his? Curiosity Incorporated on the YouTube. And he had a store, but he now he's like moved himself where I should be by now, like have like 7 collectors cars, like rotating them out and buying and selling and stuff. And we just got into the place where it's like just too much. And then the apocalypse happened, and now we're just like, what are we gonna do now? I don't know. We're gonna do YouTube and talk for an hour and a half on Monday, at least an hour and a half, because I'm not even done yet. And the point is, Curiosity Incorporated bought some coins recently as sort of a project. I think he spent $100 on a bag of old Roman coins that were found at the bottom of a river or something, but they're all stuck together and they're just green. You can't see, and you can't see that they're coins. In fact, I don't even think you'd really be able to tell. And he took all these coins and he used a rust remover. Some people are like, oh no, these are coins, you shouldn't do that. But these are like junk coins unless you somehow clean them off. He was able to get these things so you could read words and see heads of old people on them. It was pretty impressive. And I was like for like $200, maybe he got 200 coins. It was like I felt it was a good deal and kind of a fun thing you could do with a kid. That's what he did it for. So it depends. Paul Rose says it depends on the category. They cap the postage you can charge due to abuse in the past prior to them taking fees on it. The only way around it is to list that item with the next best related category. So they cap it by category. Interesting. Shipping on Etsy. That's interesting. Well, on eBay's problem was people were charging $1 for the item and $100 for shipping. So I guess this was their solution to that. Yeah. Patricia vomited. I'm not sure from what, but she gets upset stomach sometimes when I say stuff.
Oh, that's what she said.
She actually has a physical reaction to it. Here's to you, Mrs. Robinson. Zip it works or sample on Decor. Zip it. Is that where you zip it?
All right, zip it.
You can't even
Zip it. Zip.
look. All
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, exhibit A. Look, I'm Zippy Longstocking. When a problem comes along, you must zip it.
Paul really wants to love eBay, but they just keep cheating. I know we're abused. Look at we're at the bottom. Thank you. My watches just went down from 1 to 47. Anyone have this happen to you? Your watchers went down from 47. Yeah, that's. I haven't seen anything like that happen. No, not recently. When they did that big thing back in 2022, it did. So I don't know what. Yeah, no, have not seen that at all. I mean, I notice things that happen and I ignore a lot because I just can't. But I haven't seen that. Paul Rose, I often see views appear one day and the next day they are zeroed again. Probably just another glitch. I wouldn't notice that either because I do that nuclear reset every single day. The one thing that seems to keep track is not sell-through rate, but whatever rate is going up. It's like 0.7 now, click-through rate. Maybe sell-through rate. No, click-through rate. Let's see. Oh, and also Paul Rose, yes. So your impressions and page views, those have 3 days to settle, and those always change. Impressions more than page views. Love them glitches. Is Etsy calling my name? Yes, Etsy. Everybody go to Etsy. Everybody, let's see if I can do this. Hold on. Let me go up here. I'm going to get, if I can find it, I'm going to get Decor's thing here again. And if you haven't signed up for Etsy and you think that's a good idea, and I think I would definitely, if I was a professional, and someone was asking me to, my professional opinion, I would say now is the time to cross list for both your own edification, for your own knowledge, for your own teachings, to know how to do it. Eggs out of one basket. I think we're probably well past time to not have our eggs in one eBay basket. And also, maybe this is, a little fantasy, but it's along the same fantasy of that. We're going to see Jamie when he announces Q4's numbers. He's going to be like, "Oh, sorry, sellers, we were mean," which is never going to happen. I do think Etsy is kind of saying that, and I do think that it could be I do believe that it's possible that if enough of us go over to Etsy, eBay will go, "Oh, whoops." Maybe. I don't know. But for sure, get your eggs out of one basket. Etsy's, as opposed to, I would never go right currently to Whatnot. Macari, I just don't know. I just don't like what I'm hearing about that, but I don't know enough about that. But Whatnot doesn't seem like the right fit. And the other one, the new one, District, is just a year or more away from any sort of. I really like their ideas. I like some of their leadership, and the people I've talked to is cool, but I don't think that's ready yet. Hey Froze is going to be there when it is ready, though, because he's already got some stuff. Go check out his store at the Hey Fro Pop Culture on District. Hey Pop Culture on District. Good thing he's not paying me for that advertisement, because I would have not gotten paid. Got to use that link before you open up the store. Yes, Den Decor Depot. Open up. Yeah, use that link to open your store. I did. God, you want everything. Let me actually post what I want to post. It's actually easier to list on Etsy. No real item specifics. Ooh, that's cool. Good karma. We are fighting the power. You get a basket, Primo. They leave my eggs in the straw. It's so close to Easter. Don't call me the Easter Bunny. That's not even a funny joke. But I've got a button here. Please don't give me credit for that. That's not even a good dad joke. That was just horrible. Does anybody have a video to list on Etsy? It seems more complicated than eBay. Veronica. Aloha, Veronica. Welcome. I'm not sure exactly what you're asking. Are you asking, what's that? A how-to do a video on Etsy. You mean like are you thinking it's like eBay, you can put a video on your item? No. A how-to video. Sorry. I can be dumb. It's a density problem with my skull. It's just really dense. I will, yeah, of course. That's what I'm thinking of doing, is doing some Etsy videos, especially just from a new perspective, from a new Etsier. So we're working on those in the next week or two. And Paul Rose just had a sale. Yippee! Oh yeah, you guys. If you guys like John from Flipping Ain't Easy, he says if you like the video, you'll get a sale within the next day. And I think he's kind of cheaping out, because I'm going to give you 75 sales in the next day. And so if you like this video, and please subscribe, I'm going to give you 75 videos. Guaranteed. Money back. What? 75 videos? I don't even know what I'm saying. 75 sales if you like this video. Sorry. I can't even do my jokes the right way. This is the jokes, people. No, yes, seriously though, if you leave a like on this video, you will get 75 sales within 24 hours. Money back guarantee from Primo. Just keep your receipt. Yes. So, and just another reason I did look. I've obviously looked at these things. Etsy does seem, I don't know. It kind of looked like the same level of difficulty, but it didn't have as much stuff. So it's just a matter of looking at something new that I still am not up yet. Yes, a how-to. Yeah. I think in the next week or so, I'll have my experience up, and I guess it will sort of be a how-to because I will show that. And we're gonna do videos because, man, there's so much to say. We're gonna start putting out some videos too because we can't all do lives forever. I mean, we can still do lives, but we needed to put out videos as well. So we're working on some. What?
Read Outdoor Worlds.
Outdoor Worlds. I tried Etsy 3 years ago. After a month, they kicked me out. I was selling only ancient coins and was okay. After I listed some World War II photos, they kicked me out without even a warning.
That's what I've heard is that they'll just kick you out for not telling you no reason.
Well, do yourself a favor, and maybe this is something that we'll do as a part of our video, is we'll look and see what you're not allowed to sell on Etsy. I'm not sure why they, one strike you're out law. I mean, I'm not sure. But if it was, I'm totally just looking at it from a point of view of how possibly World War II pictures, something to do with Nazis, right? I don't know. But like with my Virgin Killers by Scorpions, a record, there's nothing wrong with this particular cassette or the version of this cassette. It was just the words were too much for them to handle, and so they struck it down. They didn't kick me off of eBay, though. I mean, that's a little harsh.
Yeah, I'm on Etsy right now, and I'm seeing a bunch of World War II photos.
So again, there are things that happen that we don't know. I don't know what you tried to do to get back on Etsy. Did you talk to them or whatever? So that would be curious just to see exactly what happened with that. But I would also say 3 years ago and now are definitely different climates. So I'm not sure if it may be better now. Callie Debs already got an eBay sale for your like. Callie Debs, you got 74 more coming today. And I think that's fair. If Etsy is going to be, just know that going in, just nothing questionable. I mean, just stick with, Scooby-Doo and stuff that, I mean, we all know. We know if something's even a little edgy. We know that. So I guess that I wouldn't put the edgy stuff up on.
I would have never thought that.
Specifically, the coins. I mean, obviously coins are okay. But World War II, that's just something that in my head, I know as a reseller, it's just like Playboys, World War II stuff, sketchy. There's just certain things that they're maybe not even sketchy. They're just not a 1 on the scale of nothingness. They're a little extra, and so just keep those off. Right? Is that it?
I wonder if Etsy users can complain about someone's listing and get it taken down.
Do we know if Etsy has a self-reporting? Can you report an item on Etsy? I mean, I assume you can because you can do that on eBay. So, I mean, that's kind of the only way for these big companies, all up until they had AI that could actually do some scanning. They kind of made you feel like it's your big brother, but really it's just people reporting. Mm-hmm. Facebook was reporting comments, that kind of stuff. Outdoor Worlds, my point is that you first need to get a warning for something. Yes, absolutely. That's why I'm curious what you did about it. Did you tell them you didn't get a warning? I mean, should you have gotten a warning? Was it it would have to have been a pretty catastrophic sort of a World War II picture for them to just axe you. Don't axe me. What you know is true. Right? Okay. I think it's time to go because my side hurts right here after sitting for an hour and a half talking. Yes, they have self-reporting on Etsy, and read Etsy's house rules. Yeah, that's the best way. Obviously, we're going to play in their sandbox, so to speak. Just make sure you you don't put anything questionable. Hey Froze has made me really think about things. And, you know, one of the important things, and as we get further down the road with, you know, cross-listing to different places and choosing different items to go to different places, he's aware of where to put certain items, you know, because he deals with comic books or graphic novels that might have a more of an adult theme. Those can't go on certain platforms, but certain places they can go. I mean, they're nothing extreme even, but they're just too, even though they're pretty not extreme, they still can't go on eBay or Etsy without causing a problem. So every platform is going to have a different perspective on that. And some of them are going to have more of a fighting attitude. They're willing still to fight whoever is making them not. You know, Etsy and eBay are big companies that have like congressmen yell at them and stuff. So obviously they handle things a certain way. Fresh new companies, they haven't been yelled at yet, so they might be more willing. Like I have my attitude towards business used to be, now I'm just too old and don't care anymore. But it used to be, I'm just an idiot. I will do anything and not even think about not being able to do it. Because that's how you get ahead. Don't let yourself think you can't do something. Yeah, I can I can have a store, I can have restaurants, I can just build all these businesses. Now success and failure is a different thing, but nothing lasts forever. So as far as I know, they were all successes, except for the restaurant. Didn't make us feel good because it was lame. It was too much work and a lot of food, a lot of drinks, too much work, a lot of young people. Damn, young people. Definitely should give you a warning. That's ridiculous that they did that. Yeah, I mean, of course, they should be. They should be. Okay.
It was just airplanes, he said.
Oh, sorry. Normal photos of airplanes, nothing crazy. Yeah, but you know how my tape got taken down. It got caught by the system, and but still, again, no, they just took it down and told me to not do that again. They should have given you something. So I don't know what to do. You know, Outdoor Worlds. I wouldn't necessarily tell people. I wouldn't think that that's still going on, or that is a commonplace takedown, that they would actually kick you out. But I have to tell you, the only times I've ever heard of people getting kicked off a platform without warning has been Etsy. So I don't know if they don't do that anymore, or if they have different plans for that. Major Wiz, thank you so much. Never give in, never surrender, but we got to be smart. That's part of never giving in and never surrendering. So the eggs, you got to take those huevos and spread them. You got to take your huevos to different parties. 6x6. No, don't end. I have to go back to listing. Sorry. We have to go back to listing too. And filming these stupid videos that are taking too long. You know what's easy on YouTube? Going on for an hour and a half and talking to you guys. I get a lot of feedback from it. It makes us feel good. We're like, yay, we did something, an accomplishment. Making videos is a real buster. Just a lot of time involved in it. But yeah, we're doing it. Motorcycle dork. Love you all. Have a great one. Major wins. Thanks again. Aloha, everyone. Keep punching. Ride on. Fight on. Motorcycle dork. Anyone else noticed suggest campaign January being added to promoted listing advanced campaigns? No. Wait. Anyone else notice a suggest campaign January being added to your promoted listings campaigns, even when you never added it? No. The only thing I have noticed is that, remember, the end of that offsite ads, advanced promoted listings, ended at the end of December. They popped it back on again somewhere in January, at the end of January maybe. They added it back till the end of March. So they didn't have enough data from it, or it didn't work well enough, or for whatever reason it did end, and then they added it back. So maybe you somehow got squeezed into that. Did you have some left over from the last promotion? Maybe. I'm just guessing. Totally stab in the dark there. Do not stab in the dark, by the way. That seems like a really, really dangerous thing to do. Okay, Decor. Okay, Seeing Stars, aloha, welcome. And we're also just about to get off, so thank you very much for joining us here. We'll be back here on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Thank you all. Have a great day. Hope sales are great. Like and subscribe. See you on Wednesday.